Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Charlotte. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're gonna go over my most worn fragrances of late. Basically what I wore this past spring and early summer. I did move recently, so I didn't have access to most of my perfumes. I packed around 95% of them and only kept a little handful. There are two fragrances. Yeah, there's two fragrances here that were bought during this time as well. So they are recent additions, which I went over in my most recent haul video. These are the perfumes that I couldn't stop wearing this spring and early summer. All of these had something, or most of these had something in common, which is they were all very fruity, musky, floral, mood boosting, sort of uplifting fragrances. Thank you so much for liking, and let's get into the video. So the first fragrance is one that I bought while I was in the middle of moving, and that is Lotus Pear by the 7 Virtues. I bought this at the Sephora VIB sale, and this is a floral fruity fragrance that just came out this past year, and this is just perfect for this time of year when you just need a pick-me-up, you need a mood-boosting, uplifting sort of fragrance. There's nothing complicated about this. It's just floral and fruity, and it feels a little bit musky even though there's no musk in here. This is very fruity and fresh. It's a little bit lactonic from the gardenia in here. That's a very sort of creamy white floral. But other than that, the pear is very aquatic and fresh, and the lotus is what keeps it very aquatic as well. Makes it very airy and very breezy. That's what makes it kind of a very uplifting sort of fragrance to me, and just very perfect for warmer weather, and maybe not the absolute hottest days, but when it's starting to get hotter and you're just getting out of winter, looking forward to summer, this is just perfect. And that's what it was, especially during a very stressful time in my life. This was a wonderful pick-me-up. Loved wearing this. Lotus Pear by the 7 Virtues. Fruity, white floral, sweet, definitely fresh, a tad bit lactonic. Lovely. By the way, because I do get asked sometimes what I'm wearing on my lips specifically, I'm wearing the Signature Lip Lightweight Lipstick by Merit Beauty. They did send a few items over. This is the color Slip, a beautiful sort of nudie, warm nude brown. I also have the color Baby, which is a more cool blue toned pink. I love both of these colors, and I just love this lipstick in general. It's very comfortable, it's creamy, it's a very sheer buildable sort of color, which is honestly my favorite kind of lip product to wear these days. So I am wearing the more browny nude sort of color. I want to show you guys here. Yeah, this is Baby here, which is more of that cool blue toned pink, and then this is that more warm toned nude brown color called Slip. Both of these are beautiful, and to be honest, it was hard for me to sort of pick which colors to go for, because honestly they have really beautiful colors. If you're interested in purchasing any of these, they did provide a link for you guys down below. It is an affiliate link, so if you do decide to purchase, you're definitely helping to support me and my channel, so thank you so much. I've not been that into makeup lately. I've not been inspired by any of the new releases, but Merit Beauty's releases were actually one of the only releases that were kind of piquing my interest. So I was very happy to try them out, and this is exactly the kind of lip product that I like to wear, especially every day, because it's sheer, it's moisturizing, it's comfortable, it's buildable. The next fragrance that I have been wearing like crazy is Clean Reserve's Radiant Nectar. This is a beautiful woody floral musk that came out in 2020. I bought this also at the Sephora VIB sale, and I've been wearing it nonstop since. I just love it. I feel like you can't tell even that I put a dent in it, but I swear there should be a dent. There's like a minor dent. There must be a minor dent, because actually when I wear this, I end up having to refresh every few hours, which I don't do with all fragrances. So yeah, there should be a bigger dent. I'm surprised it's not bigger. I'm glad it's not though, because I want this to last. This is a 100 ml bottle. This is just so mouth-watering in a fruity, musky, candy sort of way. Not completely candy, but it does smell a little bit like Sour Patch Kids to me, like a lemony sweet Sour Patch Kids. Even though there's no lemon, the juiciness in here is from the pear. The pear is very juicy and fresh and aquatic, but there's also a lot of musk and ambrette and orris to make it nice and smooth and powdery. And it's just beautiful. It's very effortless. It's very appropriate anytime, anywhere, any season, but especially for the spring and summer. This could easily become a signature scent year round for me. And yeah, I love it. I do like Skin also by Clean, but this is the one that kind of took the cake for me to begin with. Skin is nice as well, and I will probably add it to my collection eventually, because it's my second favorite probably, but this is my first favorite by Clean. I've been loving it. It is so uplifting. It makes me feel a little bit more jovial, a little bit more playful, you know, take things a little less seriously, which honestly I need that lately. So yeah, that's that vibe for me and I love it. The next fragrance that I wore a ton this past spring is Burberry Her, and actually this is one that I definitely did put a sizable dent in. This is an easy love for me, both because it definitely instantly makes me feel a little bit more feminine and girly, even though I'm not necessarily, even when I'm not feeling my best. And an easy reason is because I always get complimented by my boyfriend when I wear this one. This is a fragrance that I have never worn without getting complimented by him. He loves this fragrance. Every single time I wear this fragrance, it's like, wow, you smell really good. So that helps too, you know, not gonna lie. But yeah, this is my strawberry milkshake sort of fragrance. For some reason, it gives me a little bit of like a strawberry milkshake sort of vibe, but it's still a little bit fresh. It's definitely musky, it's sweet, it's a little bit woody. It's lovely. I absolutely love this fragrance. This is one that I've loved more and more as time goes on. When I first purchased this fragrance a year and a half ago, yeah, at least a year and a half ago, I was a little bit underwhelmed by it. It was not what I was expecting. I thought it smelled very young, a lot more fruity sweet than I was anticipating, but I've come around to really, really appreciating this fragrance and loving it. And I wore this so much this spring and summer, and similarly to the Radiant Nectar, it felt very jovial and sweet and uplifting and like exactly what I needed right now in my life. So this is Burberry Her, and love it. This one, unlike Clean Radiant Skin Nectar, however, has great longevity, great sillage, great projection. It's a perfect fragrance to me. Honestly, I've come to adore this fragrance, and I'm so glad I have the 100 ml. Next up, a fragrance that I wore a lot in the early spring, so when it was still a little bit cold, but it was starting to get warmer. We were starting to see the sun peek out a little bit more. There was still snow though, still a little bit cold, was La Belle by Jean-Paul Gaultier. I did put a dent in this one as well, and I say that because I had been wearing the intense version more in the winter, but this spring I definitely put a good dent in this fragrance. This is another beautiful juicy pear, so a lot of my fragrances here have pear in them. Juicy pear, but a lot more caramelized and gourmand and sweet and woody and delectable. This is an amber vanilla fragrance that came out in 2019. A lot of you already know about this fragrance. I'm not going to go over it. You guys know I love it. I love both the intense and this one. I recently also smelled La Fleur Terrible, the blue one, the new blue one, and that one is very different from these two, and I really like it from the first impression I got from it, but absolutely very different from these other two. So I plan on eventually adding that one as well. But this is a beautiful, intoxicatingly sweet, vanillic, fruity, slightly aquatic, fresh, but still very intense fragrance. Very gourmand. Yeah, the pear in here is a little bit more gourmand of a pear than the pear in Lotus Pear, for example. You know what I mean? This is more of a gourmand sort of pear. Delicious. Definitely more on when I would go out for supper or things like that. I liked to wear this one. Definitely a little bit more glam, very feminine, and more sexy. This felt sexy. It made me feel a little bit sexy. The next fragrance I wore a lot this spring that I was really excited to bring back out for the spring, actually, because that's the time of year that I tend to prefer wearing this fragrance. This is by Maison Margiela and this is Mutiny. This is an amber floral fragrance that came out in 2018 and I think this is quite an underrated fragrance, you guys. I don't hear much about it, if at all, to be honest. But this is just so darn pretty. This is very well rounded. It has a lot of notes in it, but it comes together in a very seamless, smooth, creamy way. It's very creamy. It's a white, floral, fruity fragrance. It has a lot of fruits in it. It has beautiful tuberose in here that's very creamy. It also has some leather, some oud, patchouli, saffron in it, but all of those notes, if you are intimidated by them or you typically don't like them, I don't think you should be afraid of them because they're extremely toned down in this fragrance. Some people would even complain that they're not amplified enough. I think they are just beautifully sort of lending a supporting act to the fruity floralness, the fruity white floralness. It's just beautifully blended. It's very creamy, it's smooth, it's a little bit fresh. It's definitely very feminine. I always get complimented with this one as well. It is very much a crowd-pleasing sort of scent. It's not the most unique fragrance out there, though I can't exactly think of a fragrance that smells exactly like it. It reminds me a little bit in the texture to Trussardi Sound of Donna. Not the scent itself, but the smoothness and the creaminess is very similar to me. Yeah, I just really adore this fragrance. I cherish it and I like to take it out specifically in the springtime. It's great for the summer as well. I will continue reaching for it at that time. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this. Mutiny by Maison Margiela. The next fragrance that I've been wearing a ton is an amber floral fragrance that came out in 2020, and this is Signature by Mont Blanc. This is a beautiful musky vanilla with a bit of yellow florals and some citrus. This smells very creamy in its muskiness. It's not lactonic per se, but the muskiness in here and the powderiness are very smooth and refined and almost creamy. And yeah, I think this is very pretty, very feminine. This is a fragrance that I didn't initially love. So that's important to note, you know, like that's why sometimes I say I need to take my time with fragrances. Some fragrances, the opposite happens and I really like them at the beginning, where I get good first impressions, and then over time I find that I don't love them. This is the opposite. This is a fragrance that I didn't initially love and I slowly but surely fell in love with it. Absolutely. My boyfriend also adores this fragrance on me. But yeah, this is just an easy reach, signature scent worthy for sure. Just like the name implies, signature. Clean, musky vanilla with a clementine citrus opening with that beautiful ylang in the mid. Has ylang, magnolia, peony. It's very pretty, it's very feminine, it's a little bit dainty. I think that's what kind of turned me off at the beginning. I wasn't sure if it really suited me as my personality suited me, but I've really come to really appreciate this fragrance and I do think it fits me now. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this fragrance, especially in the spring. I will keep wearing it in the summer as well. I think this is great year round, but especially in the springtime, this was such a beautiful, gentle sort of hug of a fragrance, and yeah, just love it. Signature by Mont Blanc. All of these, by the way, will be linked in the description box below. And then last but certainly not least, we have a very affordable fragrance that I think is kind of passed under the radar and is underrated. This is by Agent Provocateur. This is Fatale Pink. This has nothing to do with Fatale Intense, which is the one in the red bottle, which has a very prominent sort of licorice note and is very intense and dark and sexy. This is not like that at all. This is a very fun, fruity, uplifting floral fragrance, but it's also very fresh, shampooey, and lactonic. And you guys, I just love this mix. I think this is my absolute favorite shampooey sort of fragrance. I absolutely love it as an uplifting, energizing, fresh fragrance, but that still has that creamy lactonic edge to it. It's also a little bit musky. It has a great dose of citrus in it, so it's definitely very uplifting and energizing. This has a whipped cream note, so you know that's what attracted me to it to begin with. And actually specifically what attracted me to it was the fact that it had bamboo and whipped cream, and yeah, like bamboo, lotus, yuzu, which is a really delicious citrusy fruit, and whipped cream. I was like, that was kind of unique to me in my collection, and it's exactly what I was looking for. It's a slightly lactonic, fresh, citrusy, fruity floral. And yeah, definitely shampooey. So if you like shampooey sort of scents, this is that kind of vibe. And for the price, I think this is awesome and I love it. Wore this a lot. Will continue to wear this, especially on hot summer days. Definitely a great like casual sort of scent, like also going to the gym, working out. If you wear fragrance during those occasions, this is appropriate for that because it has that very refreshing, uplifting sort of vibe, and it will leave a very clean, like shampooey sort of sillage. So love this fragrance, and I'm really happy that I got it and that I didn't listen to the negative reviews on this one. So that is Agent Provocateur Fatale Pink. So that's it, you guys. Those are my most worn, most loved as of late spring, early summer fragrances that I've been wearing a lot. Remember that I didn't have access to my whole collection. These are the ones that I kept on hand, that I rotated through, that, you know, were there for me during this time. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you have been wearing lately, what your most worn fragrances have been or has been. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell if you would like to see some more videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for being here with me, you guys. Until we see each other again, much love. Take care of yourself. I'll see you very soon. Bye.